Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me tonight. We have another Cheer League cast for you. It's a Pro Division game between Can't Wake Up and R2. R2 is a team I've been following recently. Looks like they have a sub tonight though, and Can't Wake Up is an entirely new team. I've never casted before, so I look forward to seeing what they're all about. This is a best of 3, and the first map picked was Infernal Shrines by R2. And we'll see how they handle this. Now, they were playing with, when they played with Ray Ryan before, in the previous weeks, they would like to use Zeratul on this map a lot. So we'll see if they have another player that can pick up that role for them. The person they have subbing in is a player I am familiar with, though Cripsy. He's a fairly good player and fairly good Zeratul play specifically. He's kind of like the player that convinced me that Zeratul is really good on Dragon Shower, so look forward to seeing if he's going to play his Zeratul here. Okay, so bans. Kerrigan, probably the best hero on this map, so no surprise there, and we still see Samro banned. Looks like his recent nerfs has done nothing to change the status, and we see a first pick Muradin by Can't Wake Up. It's a very safe pick. You know, it's not like a Sylvanas on this map, like that would be like a power play, or Azul, who's very popular on this map, who can take care of 2 lanes by himself and apply a lot of pressure while the teams are fighting over the shrines. So we do see the Sylvanas picked up here by R2, and we're probably going to see another heavy lane clear. Jaina, Kael'thas, Johanna, all those heroes are fairly popular on this map due to their wave clear. Lost Vikings for the soak. This is not a common pick on this map, I'd say. I mean, it's not uncommon either. Out of all the maps that Vikings are picked, any of the big maps will work, sort of. And this one in particular, if you can stall out those phases, the shrine phases, then the Vikings can get you a lot of value, and if they get you the XP lead, then that will secure the Punisher in those shrine fights, which will, you know, maximize your Sylvanas pick. So I kind of see where R2 is going here, and we'll see if they can execute it properly. What you need to do when you have a Vikings on your team, though, is you need to be very careful not to die and give up the experience lead that they're working so hard for you to get. So staying tight as a group, making sure your ganks work. So maybe we'll see like an Alarak or something coming out from R2 as well to consolidate their ganking prowess and their rotational fighting power. Also something like ETC will keep an eye out for R2. Brightwing, the global power of Brightwing, the mobility of Brightwing, and the global presence, and the ability to split soak to match at least one of the Vikings is very important, and just kind of one of the most popular heroes right now. She's good against dive with Emerald Wind. She's good at just solo burst healing with Blink Heal. So just very versatile healer. She can take peekaboo. She needs reveal. She can give squishy targets heals with Phase Shield if she needs to. So, or she can just take cleanse if she needs to. So great and popular healer, and this allows them to try to squeeze out healers in their second ban. I was fully expecting a Malfurion ban from Can't Wake Up. Tychus is very good at this map, or very popular anyway. It definitely locks out a dual warrior pick from Team R2 and keeps it away from R2's hand, so it opens up a dual warrior comp for themselves, for Can't Wake Up themselves. So I fully expect a second warrior here in these last 2 picks for Can't Wake Up, and you see that R2 has the same fear and they're banning Chen. This tells me they're going to pick ETC. And Tychus, once again, this is one of the maps where Odin is really super good because has high damage AoE clear, and there's the Malfurion ban I was predicting. Anyway, very high AoE clear with Odin. Laser, you kind of have to really micro the targeting of the laser, which isn't the hardest thing, and you are fighting around a singular objective, so not too surprising to see a laser, but I expect the Odin here. And Li Ming, this is kind of one of her weakest maps, as theorized, but you can still find a lot of good angles, and with her Calamity, she helps when clearing the shrine quite well. And then so we see the Johanna, which is the rotation of power. So they left the ETC out, but Johanna is really good against ETC, and we see Alarak coming out. One of the best solo laners in the game right now. He can land his combo from far away with telekinesis and just do so much damage. So with these non-sustained heroes, they can't really keep up with Alarak. And if a Vikings is laning against Alarak one-on-one, then they're just gonna die. And we see they save their heal for last, and they picked Oriel. Oriel plus Sylvanas actually generates quite a bit of energy, so kind of one of the top 3 pairings for her. So we're gonna see if this actually works out, because Li Ming, I mean, if you time it with her combos and she hits them, then you're gonna get a lot of energy at once, which is great too if you're paying attention to the crown switching. So all right, Cripsy is not boosted. Go on, is he boosted? I don't know. I don't think so. He's probably going to play the Li Ming here, right? That's my guess. Okay, so looking at these two lineups, R2 has a really strong lineup for this map. The Vikings presence, getting any Punisher with the Sylvanas, the lane clear with Johanna, things like that. But it is harder to execute, whereas Can't Wake Up has just a great team fighting and killing lineup all around. So I'm gonna say I kind of like Can't Wake Up straps more just because it's easier to execute, but I think pretty much even here. I think they're both good drafts. So, and if they get an advantage with the Vikings, then they can R2 can snowball this quite easily. Okay, and here's where I read their descriptions that they've written on their Chair League page, and turns out Can't Wake Up hasn't written anything. That's too bad. And R2, they also didn't write anything, so I'll tell you about the records instead. Can't Wake Up and R2 are both 3-1 in the Pro Division, so very good teams so far. But like I said, they do have a sub this week. R2 does. Okay, so let's introduce the teams. On the side of Can't Wake Up, Captain Kwanzar on Alarak, Happy Feet on Brightwing, Zabutak on Murden, looks like, Dida on ETC, and Ronaldo on Tychus. On the other side, we have the Turk on the Vikings. He's played the Vikings for them before. I remember this. Okay. Cripsy on Sylvanas, Saber on Li Ming, Shrimpe on Oriel, and Tips and Tricks, the captain, on Johanna. And you see this Vikings comp allows them to just send 4 bottom, and they've done this exact thing before on this map, and this is bringing back all these memories for me now. And with Sylvanas, they can easily get a tower here. It looks like a Vikings mid actually got picked off, not expecting the 5 heroes there, and they actually back off bot way earlier than they have to, being super safe, not wanting to give up any more experience. Of course, early kills aren't that much, and if they could have gotten that bottom tower, it would have been worth more than a kill, but they're just playing it safe. They don't want to, you know, relieve any pressure off the spot lane. Oriel actually gets picked off once again. We saw this, a very similar thing happen last night in the match with 2+2 equals team, where Oriel kept getting put out position. So we'll see if they can fix that early enough. Make the adjustments, and like I said, they have to be very careful not to give up kills to give up this lead that the Vikings will hopefully provide them. Playing Oriole versus ETC is very tricky because he can power slide through you and then body block you, and she's dead. She has no escape. And the same thing just happened to Johanna even with her trait being down. She just couldn't get out. Or maybe she was silenced. Actually, I didn't see that. Okay. Righteous Smash for Johanna, level 1. Paralysis for... Vikings gets picked off again right in front of his own gate. He needs to be a little bit more careful. He didn't actually need to be outside the gate there to soak, so... let's see if the Turk can make some adjustments, because they're really putting a lot of pressure on his Vikings whenever they have a spare moment. Okay, the first shrine is top. So you see Brightwing with the split soaking power, and they're actually a little bit ahead in experience and are going to reach level 4 first. But as this shrine phase drags on, we should see the Vikings gain more and more split soaking done. Okay, we see Bribe and Eric the Swift for the Vikings, and looks like they got here first in force. Nice stun from the Oriole there, Shrimpy, and Happy Feet is going to go down. And we hear the ding ding dings from Li Ming, but Oriole gets caught out in kind. She can't get the heal. Oh, she can, but that conviction groups them all together for the Li Ming combo, and they get a return kill. Now, can they still fight this? Remember, they're the Vikings, so they're really not playing with the full deck here. So, but look at all that nice gathering from the Johanna. We're seeing why Johanna is really powerful for this map. They are still a little bit behind in monsters as the blue team started before them, but they're quickly catching up now that they have the advantage. Look at how low Tychus get. He actually has to Hearth. That's not great. Not a great time to Hearth here. And they enter in through the left side, but Johanna's there waiting for them, and Li Ming actually misses her combo, throws it right over the rock there. If that had hit, that would have been a big advantage for them. But it looks like Muradin's getting zoned out by just Olaf and 1 DPS. Sylvanas is in trouble. She was a little bit forward. But this is such a big clump if Li Ming can hit anything here. Brightwing's actually getting chased out by Johanna, and she actually dies. Johanna, though, also in trouble. Oh, look at all these resets going to work. Li Ming just snowballing. Oh my goodness, taking great advantage of her trait, maximizing her trait value, getting multiple kills, securing the shrine for her team. And there's another kill. Oh my goodness, they need to just give this up. They are giving the Vikings team a huge XP advantage so far. Li Ming can't fight anymore though. She's at half health and no mana. And it looks like she actually picked up Force Missiles at level 1, so she doesn't even have any regen. And Can't Wake Up is really pressing this issue despite having lost a team fight about 2 times already. Muradin is focusing on the camp, not even helping his team, and ETC was very lucky to survive there. Brightwing barely managed to get a fart out to save him, and they still lose the camp. Of course, they fought this so hard because Sylvanas is on the other team, but they gotta think about the next Punisher. You know, they're not gonna lose the game off this one Punisher, but if they... you know, they suffer a huge experience disadvantage going into the next shrine, the next Punisher can end the game, so... or at least they'll take enough damage that they'll lose the game off of that. So they really... oh, I'm sorry for the camera work here. Yeah, my mouse is going a little bit crazy. Okay, so yeah, they should have been a little bit more disciplined, I think, with how they challenge that shrine, but we'll see if they can come back off of this. Punisher still has half health. They can probably get the wall up here, at least. Yeah, and this wall should go down, and then they'll back up safely with their level 10 advantage. They could also just group up and try to fight this. You know, Vikings is still soaking, but she doesn't need to. They could just come and get this keep very safely, but they're just going to do it with 4. Muradin's already being pushed back. This huge 4-level advantage is doing so much work, and we even see Falling Sword coming down to try and force the engage. Nice silence from the Alarak to, you know, make Johanna think twice, and Johanna still has her trait though and just brings them all back in for that Li Ming combo. This is so much fun for Li Ming to play right now, being this far ahead. All your spells feel like they do infinite damage, and oh, what a wailing arrow by Sylvanas Cripsy. Oh my goodness, 3-man wailing arrow just as they were trying to chase them out of the group. Tychus finally arrives, but it's too late. The keep is dead. Even if they get the Johanna here, it's not gonna matter. They've suffered such big losses. A keep off the first Punisher. Holy cow. And, I mean, look at how low they were on their resources, mana and everything. And if Can't Wake Up wanted to defend that keep, they should have done it with all 5. You know, just discouraged R2 and sent them packing once and for all, and then they could try and split soak the lanes for level 10. But instead, they got the worst of both worlds, essentially. They soaked a little bit, came back, and just gave up a whole lot of kills. And it looks like they'll catch Olaf here, but not a big deal at all. So I guess that's... Oh, so what do they do now? They still need level 10, and the Shrine is coming up. They're going to be hopelessly behind on the Shrine before they can even get Heroics to try and fight this. And I don't think they even can. Even when they get Heroics, they're already down another talent here. We see Runrunner, Jump. Li Ming hasn't even chosen hers. She hasn't even chosen her ultimate because she needed to see if ETC was going to take Mosh, I guess. But now that she sees it is Mosh, she's going to take Disintegrate. Great job holding her ultimate there. And Aegis, of course. Oh, they jump right on Oriole, and here we see Falling Sword catch 3 to save Oriole. Oriole can't save herself after the Aegis, but buys enough time that there are going to be quite a few resets coming up for Li Ming, and look at all this work. Just blows up Alarak. She still has not picked a level 13 talent at all, and even without this, her spells are just hurting so much with this 2-level advantage. Remember, it's almost like an 8% swing per level. So, and they just leave Sylvanas to clean up the Shrine while they heal up and gear up for this push with the Punisher. They're going to have Oriole up, Johanna's coming up shortly, and with Sylvanas, this should be another keep with this level advantage and talent advantage. And Sylvanas, of course. Sylvanas being the key component here. Okay. So, Li Ming finally takes her level 13, Illusionist. A little bit of a safe choice here, but doesn't want to give up her lead. And because one kill, the fact that they're this far ahead means one kill will give the other team so much more XP than normal. So she just doesn't want to die, takes the safe Illusionist, but... Alright, so they bait the Punisher over, but they didn't lead it over to the mid-keep, which is kind of the standard. And they actually break down the side wall so that Li Ming has a place to... has a line to throw out her spells. Okay. So they actually didn't get a keep on that second Punisher, which is very strange. They could have tried to press it a little bit more since they do have a talent advantage and 3 levels, but they decided to play it safe, wait for the level 16. They can definitely force this fort. I don't think Can't Wake Up would even try to contest it. They drop down the laser. This is a long cooldown to use, but they feel like a fight's gonna break out right now. R2 actually could have just backed off, but now they're in a bit of a pickle. Actually, oh, nice job by the Li Ming, just jumping around like crazy and juking everything, and the longbow comes out. I've seen the Turk go with this one before. He never takes play again. He takes the boat, probably preferring the jaunty tunes you get to hear. And now they're just gonna go right for core. They killed 4. The cooldown, the death timers are so really short, so they need to be a little bit careful. But I don't think Can't Wake Up can stop them at all. There's too many bodies here. They're just doing too much damage, and especially with Mirror Ball coming out, just no chance. And the ability power as well from Oriole. So great game, well played by R2. like I said, I've seen this Viking strat from them before, I think especially on shrines, and they seem to always pick shrines. So an 11-minute win, that is crazy fast for Infernal Shrines. And you see the next map has already been chosen. I like how fast they're choosing it. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Give a few zero death shoutouts to Li Ming, Lost Vikings, which we saw die, but apparently not enough to make a whole death, and Sylvanas, their sub Cripsy. Alright, I guess that's what happens when you add a rank 48 or something sub to your team. They just didn't seem to miss a beat at all. Alright. So I'm just inviting the teams to the game. Just gonna throw it onto the break screen, or the draft screen for now, as we wait for the captains to come in and invite their team. And I'm gonna set up the next draft. So once again, that was really well played by R2. They just never let go of their advantage, and they seem so good at that. Every time I cast them, that seems to be how they play. They just they know how to play with the Vikings, get a huge advantage, and then just never look back. So, oops! Oh, I added the wrong game. Whoops. Okay. Tomb of the Spider Queen. So just making up a new lobby. Okay, so just sorting out some admin stuff as we wait for Game 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now this map, we always talk about two things here for the draft, and that's wave clear and goaltending. Both things very good. We saw this week in one of my matches, we saw one team actually try to see if Zagara can still work on this map because she keeps such great vision on the map, on the turn-ins. But it didn't work out for them. Zagara is just in a really poor place right now, and I can't explain it because her solo laning was stuffed so hard by all the nerfs. I'm just handing out the draft links, and then we should see the game get on their way. So this is Can't Wake Up's map choice, so we'll see if they have a better strategy dealing with this, coming into this one. You know, a hero like Vikings doesn't work as well on this map because it's very small, so the split soaking style we saw from R2 in Game 1 isn't gonna work as well here. And if Can't Wake Up likes to play a more rotational game, like say with that Alarak pick, they can do much better on this map. And I fully expect a Kerrigan ban here as well, or pick. This is also probably her second best map, and very powerful here as well. And since, like I just said, the rotational game is so powerful, and getting an early lead on this map, Kerrigan is one of the best gankers and ganking in rotation. She can jump you from very far away, and there's lots of fog going through those shrine areas, or turn-in areas rather. So solo laners need to be super careful. And the other thing we need to consider is, again, of course the bottom laners, the solo laners that will be going against each other. Chen is a very powerful pick here because, and especially since Alarex banned out, who is one of the only solo laners that can match a Chen right now. So Chen would be a very powerful pick for that solo lane. So we'll see what R2 prioritizes with their first pick. Like I said, the priorities are wave clearing, goaltending, and getting that strong bottom lane so that you don't have to rotate down there to help. So yeah, in that game I was talking about that I casted earlier this week, they picked Zagara for the solo lane and then ended up not trying to help the Zagara at all versus the Chen, and the Chen just completely wiped the floor with Zagara, completely dominating that lane, and they ended up not rotating to help her, and they just kind of lost the game from that disadvantage. So I'm not expecting either of these teams to make that mistake. These teams seem very well practiced and fairly organized, so they probably know about how important that bot lane is in that matchup. So they'll either pick a really strong solo laner that can at least go even in that lane, or they will rotate early to try and put some pressure and even up things in that lane before things get out of control. So we see a first pick Malfurion. Malfurion on this map was picked even before his buffs in Korea and stuff like that. Just his massive sustain. I once described this map as that kind of reads, if you can stay in the lane longer, you win the game, which is kind of an oversimplification, of course, but that is a lot of what the early game leads to. Even if you can't gank the other team, you can win the attrition game, make them go to base, and when they do that, you can turn in your gems. So you never want to be leaving the lanes. Malfurion helps you stay in the lanes, and that's why he's absolutely a great first pick for this map. In response, we see Can't Wake Up pick up Li Ming and ETC. Their ETC play last game was actually quite good. You know, the power slide body block, as I mentioned. Now he can try to set up Li Ming combos as well. Li Ming is one of the best goaltenders on this map because, well, she just has very short cooldowns and very long range, so she can stay safe while she pokes at you trying to turn in your spider thoraxes. You see the response coming out, Thrall and Vala. Thrall, they're going to be their solo laner bot lane. Classically one of the best solo laners. Loses to a few people like Sonya, and goes about even with Chen, I think. So good pick there. Good counter engage with Sundering. Sundering also guarantees that they have a long distance cancel for Mosh. So good job there. And in Vala has fairly good wave clear, I should say, fairly good wave clear, and assuming she goes the Frost Shot build, because we did see someone go a auto attack build last night, even though it was a wave clearing map. So if she goes with the multi-shot build, she has great lane clearing, and if she takes Rain of Vengeance, that's another cancellation for the mosh pit. The second round of bans are Muradin and Oriel. Now if they pick another warrior out of this phase, like right now, then yeah, so there we go, we see the Chen. So we see they're kind of squeezing out warriors there, and they pick the Tychus so that they can't counter their dual, they can't punish their dual warrior pick. Of course, there's still Leoric here, and Leoric is not bad on this map, and he punishes a tank heavy lineup as well, and he has that sustainability lane presence in that even if he dies, he can come back to life. So R2 still needs a tank, And maybe they'll go back to the Sylvanas with their last pick as well. Sylvanas is classically one of the best heroes on this map. Once again, if you can get a turn in, you saw what they did with the Punisher on the last map. They can do something similar, not quite as much on Tomb, but Sylvanas definitely gives you that kind of lane pressure. And just kind of makes them overcommit into defending the turn-in like they did with that first shrine. Last game they were just... Can't Wake Up was kind of in a catch-22. They didn't want to let Sylvanas, you know, the Sylvanas team get that first Punisher, but they ended up throwing... Well, not throwing the game, but they ended up giving up the game anyway because they just threw so many resources and threw so many lives in that they gave up such a huge XP advantage that they never came back from that. So we see Johanna. R2 navigated the Johanna quite well last game. We did see her die once, I think, just in the laning, getting caught out by the ETC, but she still did a lot of work, especially in that sustained push in that first Punisher phase. So, and on this map she's even better because Knight Takes Pawn works only on minions, and everything's minions on this map that you care about usually, so except for the boss, of course. So she will do quite well there. And we see the Johanna Asmodan combo. This is classically one of the maps that this combination is run, and Johanna is the best partner for Asmodan. She does one conviction, and that sets up all the little minions for Asmodan to dunk and to build up those Taste for Blood stacks. Now Tomb can be a fairly short map, so we'll see how quickly the Asmodan can build those stacks. Now what are they going to do to counter this? I really fully expect Tychus to go Odin on this map, right? Surely? Because there's like a lot of room to kite away from the laser. You don't really have to fight into it, especially with the lineup that you see R2 have now. They don't really need to commit that hard. Thrall can run away with his Wind Fury. Johanna can go away with her Unstoppable and just get out of laser range. So okay, and we see Rhaegar being the last pick here. One of the best wave clearing supports, so a good pick there. And there are like those tunnels that are kind of around the turn-in points, or kind of around the bottom lane, where you can put a totem and like people have to pass through it. So it's kind of a little thing on this map where Rhaegar gains a little bit of an advantage, but you can actually just kind of like guarantee an escape through one of those little tunnels by throwing down a totem and just wolfing away, for example, or stopping people from backing off if you can get one behind them. If you wolf in and then throw a totem behind them into one of those little chokes and they're caught in there, then they're kind of screwed. So teams are picking their heroes, and we're going to get the game started very shortly. And we'll see if Can't Wake Up can make the adjustments. I mean, this is a completely different map, and the drafts are completely different, so you can't even really pick up too much from the last game. It was so short that they could fix and bring into this game. Looking at the draft, so once again, Can't Wake Up has the way easier draft to execute, right? They just throw Chen in the bot lane. They have a strong rotational hero in the ETC. Rhaegar can go in for a bit of extra damage at the beginning. So their lineup should have an advantage, but I said this last game and they got completely crushed, so I don't want to make any predictions anymore. Alright, so introducing Can't Wake Up. Captain Kwanzaa on Li Ming, Happy Feet on Rhaegar, Ronaldo on Tychus, Zabutak on Chen, and Dida on the ETC. On R2, we have Cripsy on Thrall, Saber on Vala, Tips and Tricks on Johanna, the Turk on Azmodan, and I Shrimpe on Malfurion. Alright, so we see 5 mid for R2 to start. Both teams checking that bush with their abilities, not their faces. Very important. And there we see the expected solo laners Thrall and Chen going there, and it should be a fairly even lane. Assuming Thrall takes the standard lightning talents, he should have a lot of sustain, and so does Chen. So. And the 4v4 looks like the wave clear went the way of R2, but they had to leave all their gems there, so they actually got no gems off that wave clear, whereas Can't Wake Up got 3. Of course, he is just trying to pick up his taste for blood stacks. They are trying to pressure back the Azmodan and almost kills him, but actually Tychus is getting the reverse damage out, and yeah, now he has to tap too. It's interesting how deeply they kind of went for that Azmodan. Azmodan is one of the tankiest specialists in the game. Maybe the tankiest, I'm not sure about that. But they went pretty hard on him with all the support around him. It's going to be a hard kill. That's a nice 3-man power slide by ETC though, and Johanna is ineligible. Actually, it ends up being ETC being the first blood. He stayed too long after the power slide being in tower range as well. So they give up a bit of the advantage to R2, and R2 is actually ahead in gems now. They didn't even stay to try and pick up his gems at all, not wanting to risk a further experience loss. And we see... we do see the taste for blood. Can't see a stack, so... and we do see the Rolling Thunder. Okay, there's too much action going on. Nice conviction by the Johanna, putting 4 into the root, and wow, they're just winning this war of attrition. And we can see the power of Malfurion here. Look at how healthy his team is and how much mana, you know, his team has overall compared to the other team. Like, even with Li Ming's power hungry, she just can't keep up with all that Malfurion brings. And now they're just going to suffer so much lane pressure. Now let's see how this bottom lane is going. Looks like, yeah, completely even lane as we expected. You know, 10 gems to 12. You know, neither one is low on mana or health or energy, so nothing really going to be seen there unless someone makes a huge mistake. And I don't expect these guys to make too big a mistake. That'll end the kill. Oh, Li Ming though gets caught in the root. A huge conviction coming out. 3-man. He just seems like he's getting 3 or more every time, which is crazy because there are 2 range heroes on the side of Can't Wake Up. They need to possibly spread themselves more when they see that coming, or I mean, you could kind of expect it to come. So another nice root from Malfurion there. 3-man power slide once again from ETC. I gotta say, this ETC is doing a lot of work. He is hitting like really good angles on his power slides, despite his team's kind of disadvantage early on. Okay, so game's calmed down a bit. We see only about a 40% level advantage for R2. So things are not nearly where they were last game. By this time last game, R2 felt like they were pushing keep or something like that. So, oh, look at they're all very low, and Malfurion manages to keep himself alive. The laser dissuades Tychus from going any further. Vala's trying to put out all the damage she can. That Deputy Vala skin doing so much work. You know, that skin makes her do more damage, clearly. Guns do more damage than bows. That's just how it goes. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't happen. Okay. But they all get healed up. They all tap the well, get healed up on Malfurion, and they're back into fighting shape. And now you can see, despite that big disadvantage from that last fight, at the end of that last fight, they're actually now ahead in health and mana again. They're going to try to gank Thrall. It's not going to work. Oh, nice power slide, getting him just on the edge. And no, Tychus cannot finish Cripsy off. And Cripsy has the well to tap. It does open up this bottom turn-in for them, though, and they do get the first Web Weavers. Looks like Johanna couldn't get her turn-in time, or maybe Li Ming did a very good job goaltending. I couldn't watch two places at once, but I assume that's what happened. And look at all these spiders come out of the turn-in point. Very gross. It's like a pregnant spider in there or something. Anyway, so it looks like they're maintaining the four-man and one-man split on both teams, and Johanna gets isolated once again. She activates her passive, but the shield gets destroyed immediately. The gems get dropped behind the gate, luckily for them, and all those gems will be saved, but they do give up the experience, and now it looks like the experience lead is all but erased, and will be erased by the time this Web Weaver wave is over. In fact, Can't Wake Up should have the XP advantage by the end, unless a couple of them die. Cripsy's still holding his own here against Chen and the Web Weaver. And oh, that Shrimpy eating that Web Weaver attack, but you know, he's Malfurion, it's fine. It's a walking fountain. Azmodan taking a power slide to the face, but should be no problem. He's safely behind his wall, and they didn't even get the mid wall. They did get the bottom wall, and they got the top wall, so not too bad. They didn't get a fourth though, which is ultimately what you want out of that first turn-in. Looks like ETC's posturing against Azmodan by himself. And it looks like there's a fight going on bottom. It's a 4v3, and R2 needs to identify this really quick. Oh, Chen just jumps right in on the Vala, but look at all the damage Vala is doing to him. However, they do zone him off the gems, so despite that one-for-one trade, it's R2 losing the Spider Thoraxes, so actually got the worst of that engagement there. And it looks like Can't Wake Up actually has 10 first this time, unlike last game. So we'll see what they can do with this advantage. Actually, well, okay, there's heroics for both teams now, and looks like Blackpool, Sundering, Rain of Vengeance, Blessed Shield. So big mosh cancels, but he took stage dive anyway. And we do see that Vala did go the multi-shot build, which is my preferred build for sure, especially on this map. It just helps keep her so safe. Oh, nice Rain of Vengeance on top of the root. That was actually staggered perfectly and not stacked, and they are rewarded 2 kills. That's a huge Twilight Dream, catching all remaining 3 members of Can't Wake Up. And R2 takes a huge lead in this game. What a dunk by Azmodan. Oh my goodness, just... Li Ming thought she was safe, but just got dunked, son, with that Blackpool. So much damage. And I wish I could see how many stacks he has right now, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to assume he has quite a bit. Let's see if it says here. It does. Okay, he's about halfway. So almost 200, probably around 240 stacks or so, looks like. And looks like they're not going to get greedy with these Web Weavers. They are just going to try and take forts. Oh, Li Ming, she went into that choke by herself. No support at all, and Thrall just landed an easy wolf. I mean, where else could she go? She didn't even blink over a wall. So she got a little too big for her britches there and got punished once again. And now we see what happened last game, where R2 snowballed their lead. They know what to do with an advantage, and they're just pushing it all the way to the keep. They should maybe get this keep. I mean, Panda Pals is still up, so is Stage Dive when he comes up. So it is possible that Can't Wake Up can turn this when ETC is up, but they need to not lose any more people, and they lose 2 in that beautiful root by Malfurion, catching them in the choke point that's made between the keep and the tower. Oh my goodness, they're just need to stop throwing the game. I mean, they could still come back from this deficit if they can stop the bleeding, but they just keep wanting to fight. Okay, so would Asmodan be 6 then? Yes. Okay, so 128 stacks. So I was completely wrong. Not even close. Okay.
Red team, you have done well. My magic is yours.
Oh, because okay. Damage by 2 up to 500 damage. Okay, I thought it was 500 stacks. My bad. Okay. That's why I got it so wrong. Okay, so and he got a few more there, so he's up to about 140-ish stacks, and this is getting to be a huge problem, especially since they have the level lead. You know, he's just doing that much more damage, and your health pool is that much less, so surviving the dunk's going to be a huge problem for someone like Li Ming, for example. Nice cleanse there to save her, and the dunk misses for once. It seems like Azodan has been so accurate with those, just getting kills whenever he wants. And Chen, got caught there. Almost was forced to blow his Panda Pals early, and that's not something you want to do on the defensive. The second turn-in, though, is going to put a lot of pressure. I feel like, ETC's coming in for the engage. They feel like they have to rush it now, because top lane is pressuring, and they do get Malfurion right away. It looks like they are completely turning this around. Thrall tries to do what he can, but can't even get a kill, and they get 4 people out of this. That dunk, though, oh my goodness, the Turk doing so much work with the specialist. Last game it was him on the Vikings, just, you know, soaking up all the XP advantage, and this game it is him on the Azodan with the dunks more directly contributing to his team. Of course, you know, he had help in the early game with all that setup from Johanna, so you know, the team just knows how to play around the Turk and his specialist, but you know, always enjoy seeing a good dunk. So, but it looks like finally Can't Wake Up with that teamfight win is going to get their own turn in. Now you see they haven't even knocked down a single fort. They got the well bottom and the well top, and that's about as far as they've gone on any lane. So, and you know, most of this Web Weaver wave is going to be spent pushing out the lanes at top and bottom. I mean, not mid and bottom, sorry. As the lane is pretty far out, and the spiders lose HP as time goes on. So, and they're already being forced back. Look at how much damage that dunk does. Oh my goodness! And Li Ming just kind of blows her Disintegrate to try and clear up a few of the waves and help their spiders along, but the spider's already dead. And Asmodan's dealing with this one, stalling it with all his little lackeys, who will happily give up their life for ire. And looks like ETC's kind of caught here. Nice Ring of Vengeance, but they can't get the kill. Nice 2-man root into the 3-man Twilight Dream. Wow, he's caught 3 both times he's used it. They do get a return kill on the Malfurion. Seems like they're focusing him a lot, and without the Malfurion to keep Vala alive, she dies as well. But on the other side, 3 people have died. Thrall is just allowed to run amok on the backline as both their tanks dove onto the Malfurion and Vala. And a nice short-range dunk there for yet another kill. I just want to see how many kills Asmodan has this game so far. 5. Alright. Pretty good. It's averaging about a kill every 2.5 minutes. That's not bad. And they're going right in for the boss. Wow. Looks like they're going to show Asmodan maybe here so that the boss is not sniffed out, but they decide they can't do this, or it's unwise to do this at least, as they do see Taika show up on the top lane. So okay, so it looks like 36. It messed up my display changing that perspective with the number trick. But it's 39 gems to 5. So neither one has a turn in. So the game isn't imminently going to end unless R2 wins a big team fight. They are on even talent levels, so it is quite amazing how Can't Wake Up has come back with that bottom fight. They were very far behind at that point, and it looked like Azmodan was just doing half their health bars with every dunk, so... But ETC made that huge stage dive, choosing the perfect moment to engage and just blowing up Malfurion right away, which is they've identified as the weak point in the R2 comp. Man, look at the damage on those dunks. Alright, I'm gonna check. Sorry, once again. Oh, so close to completing this Taste for Blood stacks. And once that is done, it is gonna be trouble. Azmodan, the ultimate late game carry. Oh, Johanna gets... Oh, nice Twilight Dream though, catching the two frontliners. This is the problem with trying to stack on the Malfurion, and it looks like Johanna's even gonna live. Oh my god, they thought they had an opportunity to just blow up Malf, but Malf was completely ready. He blew the Twilight Dream right away and completely turned the fight around. Vala with the Rain of Vengeance also locking them down and just providing all the DPS in the world. She actually went Manticore, which is her Giant Slayer type ability, instead of Frost Shot at 16, which is a great choice against two tanks, especially as tanky as Chen. And it looks like they're just going to go for the GG here, and there's nothing here to stop them, just those lonely Rhaegar who is hiding with his tail between his legs, just saying, "Take my core, but don't take my life, please." Alright. And there we go, R2. I mean, that game was a lot closer than the first one. There was a point where Can't Wake Up decided how they wanted to engage, committed to it, and won a fight even with the Webweaver wave pushing against them. And we see the Turk once again having 0 deaths. Very good job by him. And all those dunks. They hurt so bad. Just 6 kills on Azmodan there. Really great play all around though from R2. You know, Thrall just completely holding that lane on his own against Chen. Like I said, not many heroes can do that anymore, but he was even holding them against Chen plus the Webweaver wave. And he avoided one of the ganks in the rotation when they did try to help out the Chen down there and try to get an advantage that way. He just kind of casually walked back and still had his well up and just tapped it, and everything was back to normal, so good play there as well. We saw Li Ming did a lot of work, as Li Mings tend to do, and Vala, once again, very solid DPS output. And yeah, not much more to say about that. I'm going to leave the talent screen up for you guys in case you guys want to look at it. Look at the Azmodan awesomeness. Just went 3 new talents, actually. Pretty interesting. Anyway, thank you to the players for playing. Thank you to all you viewers for watching. Please hit the follow button if you like the cast. Just a reminder, I have a Extra Life campaign going on. Type !Extra Life in the chat, in the Twitch chat, if you want to find out more. It's all for charity, a good cause, a Sick Kids Hospital. Very nice place there. Anyway, that's it for me for this week. And I will see you next week for the Chair League playoffs, I believe. And it should be very exciting as the top 16 teams from every division battle it out for t-shirts and a surprise, I think. Alright, have a great weekend, guys.